Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ. And up next, we have UMG filing a motion to dismiss Drake's federal lawsuit, blaming him for the Kendrick Lamar beef by willingly provoking him. Drake's attorneys have also put out a statement, so we'll also be covering that as well at the end. And we'll also be taking a look at some of the excerpts from the motion filed. But for a guy claiming to be so unbothered, Drake has obviously been showing us left and right how bothered he actually is. And I honestly don't think he was the victim as he claims to be. He was and continues to be a supremely active participant. I mean, the guy did tell him to drop, and I actually looked this up. The dude told him that a total of 14 times. So the stench of hypocrisy is all over this, because no matter how many times you want to try to paint yourself, portray yourself as the hero to the smaller artists, you yourself allegedly benefited from the very same system that you say that you're trying to expose now. UMG's golden goose throughout your 15-year career. So it really begs the question, if that was still the case, would you be going this route right now? Because I honestly don't think so. And the confidence UMG is honestly showing is off the charts. And I know Spotify being cleared of any involvement in payola over Not Like Us is definitely going to be something used in this UMG case. But enough dilly-dallying, let's jump right into these articles and statements. But we have UMG filing a motion to dismiss Drake's federal lawsuit, blaming him for the Kendrick Lamar beef by willingly provoking him. Like I said, told him to drop like 14 times. Drake's attorneys have also put out a statement, so we'll be covering that as well, and also take a look at, like I said, some of the excerpts from the motion filed. And when your label is roasting you like this, you know it's going to be an uphill battle. Alrighty, so over here we have the article. Lawyers for UMG say that Drake provoked his beef with Lamar and should be accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be. Yeah, man. When they're in on the joke as well, man, it's pretty much over. It's definitely giving the vibe that they have a slam dunk case. Lawyers for Universal Music Group, UMG, formally responded to Drake's federal lawsuit against the major label today, March 17th, and asked the court to dismiss the defamation case. The court filing opens with some lyrics from Drake's memorable So Far Gone song Successful. Quote, "Yeah, I want it all. That's why I strive for it. Diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it." Unquote. Something that I'm pretty sure he wishes he had never done. Replied. After the epigraph, UMG's lawyers argue plaintiff Drake, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. Obviously referring to the countless times that Drake has said that he's unbothered, or members of his team or collaborators have claimed that he's been unbothered. But literally every other week, I feel like we're hearing some type of story where Drake is rehashing this beef. So you can't be pointing the finger at everyone else when you yourself have probably the most to do with why your career is where it's at right now. And I know it's all relative, but his stock is obviously not where it once was, and who knows if he'll ever return to that level. The motion goes on to describe the feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, saying that a public beef is not unique in the world of rap. In fact, the lawyers also compliment Drake as a prolific rap feud combatant, having traded diss tracks with a number of artists, including Pusha T and Meek Mill. Obviously, the Pusha T one didn't go according to plan either. The only reason that was stopped was because people had some financial interest, obviously. And as far as Meek Mill, he could probably argue that Drake did the same thing that Drake is claiming UMG did against him. UMG's lawyers also note that Drake and Lamar's feud included multiple songs with outlandish lyrics and insinuations, which is true because both of them threw narratives. One is just obviously mad that theirs didn't land. The most popular and successful diss track of the battle, Lamar's Not Like Us, therefore does not differ greatly from the other songs, as it also consists of hyperbolic insults, they argue. He literally called Kendrick Lamar a DV perpetrator and insinuated that one of his kids wasn't his, but really his best friend and business partner. Drake, who had no concerns using UMG's platform to publish slurs about Lamar during their rap feud, now claims that Not Like Us is defamatory, the lawyers state. Drake fails to state a claim for defamation because Not Like Us conveys non-actional opinion and rhetorical hyperbole, not fact, and because Drake cannot adequately allege that UMG acted with actual malice. And at the end of the day, you can put tons of money behind a record. If the public isn't relating to it and not accepting it, it's not going to make it a hit, no matter how much money you put into it, because they'll definitely be exposed when it's time to book the venue. Lawyers for UMG go on to defend the label against Drake's claim of harassment and improper promotion of Not Like Us. In a statement shared with Pitchfork, Michael J. Gottlieb, Drake's attorney, said UMG wants to pretend that this is about a rap battle in order to distract its shareholders, artists, and the public from a simple truth. A greedy company is finally being held responsible for profiting from dangerous misinformation that has already resulted in multiple acts of violence. And honestly, my theory on these acts of violence is that more than likely the dude has made enemies of his own over in Toronto. While obviously he is beloved by a lot of people out in Toronto and Canada, I've definitely seen tons of people where that's not the case. And if you didn't have any of these kinds of enemies, there really wouldn't be any reason for somebody like Top 5, the ultimate crash test dummy, to be anywhere around you. And this isn't any legal advice at all or any advice at all, but if you're going to have a shooter on your team, make sure that they're not also trying to be a celebrity as well, because even the haters now want to be popping on social media. This motion is a desperate ploy by UMG to avoid accountability, but we have confidence that this case will proceed to uncover UMG's long history of endangering, abusing, and taking advantage of its artists, which is obviously something that the industry has done since its inception. Like I've said in multiple videos, I've been signed for like 4 or 5 years, and I'll tell you this, everyone's first deal is trash. It's changed a lot with the internet, and I won't lie and say that these connections didn't help me in my career and didn't get me in some really dope rooms, because they definitely have. But that comes in a very big trade-off. And if you ever do get offered one of these deals, definitely get it read by an actual entertainment lawyer and not just your brother-in-law that practices divorce law. If we jump over here, we actually have a larger excerpt from that motion filed. Again, it starts off with the quote, "Yeah, I want it all. That's why I strive for it. Diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it." Quoted from Drake in his hit record Successful. Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, which I said points to the fact that more than likely he benefited from this system, probably the most ever, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. The introduction goes on to say, in the spring of 2024, two of the most popular recording artists in the world, because for some reason, people try to make it seem like Kendrick Lamar needed Drake to blow up when that obviously was never the case. Somebody that has literally sold 50 million records before this beef ever took place. Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Drake Graham engaged in a high-profile rap battle. Over the course of approximately 2 months, they exchanged increasingly vitriolic and incendiary diss tracks, sometimes responding within hours of each other. Sometimes responding within like half an hour. Drake encouraged the feud. For example, when he felt that Kendrick Lamar was taking too long to respond, Drake released a second recording in which he goaded Lamar to continue the public rap battle. Like I said, told him to drop like 14 times. Lamar did just that, and effectively Drake and Lamar released a total of 9 tracks taking aim at each other. Multiple commentators declared Lamar to be the winner of the battle. Not just commentators, but the culture, fam. Not Like Us, the penultimate track in the feud, which means second before last, is the subject of the complaint. The recording and music video were released by Lamar through defendant UMG on May 4th, 2024. And that record is still proving to be a phenomenon, with it still moving within the top 2. Not Like Us was a massive commercial and artistic success. The record was the best-selling rap recording of 2024 and won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, and the accompanying music video won the Grammy Award for Best Music Video. Song Not Like Us won the Grammy Award for Song of the Year and has become a ubiquitous cultural phenomenon. Among other things, Lamar performed the song at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show to a record audience, and Saturday Night Live parodied it in its recent 50th anniversary special. All those accolades, it was literally what the public and the culture was feeling. But it still does trip me out that the way some people have been talking about Kendrick is as if he's some like fringe indie artist that has been around but never had any type of mainstream success, when the guy has literally had first week numbers of 600,000 before. Not only commercially successful, but critically successful to the tune of what, 15 plus Grammys before this past Grammys even took place? Alrighty, up here we have a second excerpt from the motion filed. Considering the overall context in which the statements were made, a reasonable listener would not have believed that the challenge statements were conveying facts about the plaintiffs, rather than opinion. I mean, we've all heard tons of diss tracks before, and we usually know that it's just metaphors and hyperbole. You're just trying to say the craziest thing imaginable. Yeah, obviously some people have actually done some of these things. Usually it's coming up with whatever you think is going to shock people the most. Because the statements were based on facts that were widely reported by Western New York media outlets and were known to the listeners. Over here they reference the case Galasso v. Saltzman, 839 NYS 2D 731, statements that plaintiff was a criminal and engaged in criminal conduct, not actionable, where listeners were familiar with the issues in dispute and with the respective sides' positions. Because obviously a lot of these things have definitely followed Drake throughout his career. Facts and criticism concerning Drake's relationship with minors predate Not Like Us and have been widely reported. See example RJN, example T. Noting that Lamar is indicting Drake for years of rumors and speculations around his misbehavior around minors, and that Millie Bobby Brown is one of the things that most people were aware of when it comes to Drake and the rumors around him. And those weird texts are definitely coming back to haunt this guy. He talked about texting with Drake when she was, a minor. Notably, Drake himself called on Lamar to invoke these allegations and tailor-made freestyle released before Not Like Us, in which he had Tupac's AI-generated voice rap that Kendrick Lamar should talk about Drake liking young girls. You can't be surprised when you tell somebody to hit you and they actually hit you. See RGN, example G in the Heart Part 6. Drake also affirmed that he understood Lamar's statements in Not Like Us to refer to the Millie Bobby Brown controversy, stating, "This Epstein angle was the shit I expected, and only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager." See RGN, example L. Clearly Drake himself understands that Kendrick's lyrics refer solely to well-known issues. Yeah, and if anyone is going to be able to expose Drake, it's going to be the company that has been the machine behind this guy's whole career. Because just like a lot of these other high-profile guys, to think that they haven't covered up tons of things that could possibly ruin your reputation as soon as they post it, you'd be crazy to think otherwise. They also have some of the other examples on here. They have that weird video of Drake fondling and kissing that 17-year-old at that concert. Obviously, the article's covering the criticism of Drake's friendship with Millie Bobby Brown, which I don't ever really see a reason that you meet a teenager at a hotel room, whether with their parents or not. And honestly, with how litigious people are, I feel like anyone with any intelligence would think the same and maybe just give some advice when you see them at some public setting like an award show or something. It has also been widely reported that OVO member Baka Not Nice was arrested in 2014 on some very, very weird charges, which is what Kendrick Lamar referenced in Not Like Us when he said, "Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified PDF," because I'm not going to say that on YouTube. Yeah, man, obviously UMG is super confident with this case. This is not their first rodeo. There's been plenty of artists that have tried to take on the system. And how many of these successful stories do you really hear out there? They can argue that Drake did the very same exact thing to Kendrick Lamar. And like I've said in previous videos, I'm pretty sure that Spotify being cleared of any wrongdoing, at least in terms of payola with this record, is going to do everything but help Drake in this UMG case. But definitely let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about UMG's motion they filed to dismiss this lawsuit? This is super hypocritical, and that a lot of this information was already out in the public sphere. And Drake has had these allegations and rumors follow him for a very long time. Who knows if all of it is real, but at the very least, it's definitely going to do some damage to this guy's character when it comes to pursuing this case. Also, let me know what you guys think about Drake's attorney's statement where they claim this is just another situation where UMG is trying to avoid accountability and just another situation of them trying to exploit the artist, which obviously, like I said, happens in the industry, but it seems like they're just going to argue that Drake, you did it too. So definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly means the world to me, and all the love and support that you guys continue to show this channel on a daily is honestly overwhelming. So I really want to let you guys know how grateful I am. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys have to say on this. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Your own label cooks you, man. That shows how confident they are.